Good evening. I think we're on. Good evening and welcome to the February 5th, 2009 Board of Selectmen Sewer Commissioners meeting. We're glad to have you here on Thursday night. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Chairman, all 5 selectmen are present, as well as the interim town administrator, Mr. Sanjanet.
Okay. Just before we get to citizens, the town clerk had asked if she could make an announcement.
Good evening. Mary Ann Silva, Town Clerk. Jim, thank you. I appreciate this. I just wanted to, there's been some information that's been put out into the public, and I've received a few phone calls regarding the change in the dates that I set for the election. I want you to know the Standard Times actually got the information incorrect. I did not change the last day to pick up the nomination papers. That remains the same. That's February 13th at 5 o'clock. The date that I did change was the date that they returned the nomination papers due to the fact that Monday's a holiday. And when I set the dates, I have to be honest with you, I just never thought about President's Day. So what I did is I changed it from the 17th to the 18th.
Okay.
So just to set that straight, that's the only date that actually changed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I don't think we have any other announcements, do we? No. Citizens' participation. Was there anyone who wanted to address the board? Seeing none. On to the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, we have no bills to pay this evening. We only have one set of minutes to approve, and that would be the January 27, 2009 regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Selectmen Sewer Commissioners. 4 selectmen were present. Mrs. Donahue was not available that evening. Mr. Sanjanet was the interim town administrator, and I would move approval of these minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Abstain.
Opposed? Abstained? 401. Okay.
We have charter review, clean water, and
All right.
energy.
Let me get to that. First, we have clean water. Frederick Ticeno. You here? If you want to come forward, please. If you could just introduce yourself.
My name is Fred Ticeno.
Okay.
Newly back to Wareham, lived in Wareham several other occasions, living in Wareham now. Interested in the Clean Water Committee. I've got a lot of experience in water and hazardous waste and stuff like that.
I see that in your resume and business experience here. Does the board, anyone have any questions for Frank?
It just, Mr. Chairman, just looking at the resume that Mr. Ticeno attached, it's quite impressive, and it's definitely, in my opinion, something that the Clean Water Committee will definitely need some expertise, and many of the jobs that you had would definitely lend itself to that. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Was there anything else?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
So you're retired. You're not working at the moment. So you have the time.
Yeah.
Are you currently doing anything else in the community? Any other memberships?
No.
Or and how long have you been back?
I've been back in Wareham since, I think the summer. I had a heart attack this summer, so I got kind of pushed into early retirement. So I moved back with I have 2 daughters that live here in Wareham, so I moved back with them. So.
Well, I'm sorry about your. Would that in any way impede
No.
what you would be doing? And I did have one other question. Have you familiarized yourself with what's been happening as of late on this issue? Do you understand why
I'm just
we're
hearing some of the comments being made, some of the problems they're looking at, and I really haven't delved into it or really sat down with anybody to talk about it.
Okay, you might want to do that because it might have a bearing on whether or not you'll have an interest in serving on it. I don't want to scare you away with your expertise. I'm sure they definitely could use you.
Well,
But
that was, when they spoke to me, I said, listen, anything I can do to help you out with this, or, you know, I guarantee I don't know I have all the answers, but I've been out there a little bit.
okay. Well, thank you very much for coming forward, sir.
Okay.
No? Is there any motions?
Do we set a number on the?
I guess we have, actually, I don't think we've appointed to this yet. I think we were holding off.
Yeah, well, I thought we were, until we
I would say
interviewed
I-
everyone.
I think
if we had
we,
any questions or to interview, and I don't even know if we've set a number.
I gotta look back through my notes. I think we had, but I'll check that. All right, so that's, we should, just staying on clean water, we have Roseanne DeGrenier. Is she here? No? Okay. I know that some people wouldn't be able to attend. There were some people that couldn't come on Tuesday, and then when you change it to Thursday, sometimes people can't change their dates around too. I see Deborah Rose is here.
Dancing for money again, huh, Deborah?
What happened?
My name is Deborah Jean Rose. I live at 10 Juniper Street in Wareham.
All right. Okay. Well, what brought you to apply for the Clean Water Committee?
I want to be able to swim where I have been swimming for over 60 years. Is the main reason. I haven't been able to swim there for the last 2 years because of problems in the water. And I also bring knowledge from being on the Board of Health in the town of Wareham. Since the Board of Health is responsible for the beaches, both public and semi-public.
All right. Are there other questions from the board?
I just want to thank you for coming forward.
Thank you.
Question, how do you believe that this particular committee can contribute to clean water? And when we're talking about clean water, obviously this committee is not just concerned with the beaches and recreational swimming, but also the quality of consumptible water. We have a water district, so obviously we want to be very careful that this committee doesn't tread in an area that we already have a sovereign district. So one, how would this committee help in the effort to maintain clean water? And two, how should the committee handle the relationship with the districts?
My understanding from town meeting, when I attended the most recent one, that this was mostly related to nitrogen issues and not necessarily drinking water. And I am well aware because I'm an adopted native to this town. I'm not a native, I'm adopted. And the water district has always been the responsible party for the water.
Yes, and you're absolutely right that the articles that have been put forth were all with respect to discharge water. But tangentially, there are issues with respect to nitrogen and other chemicals in the drinking water. So the bulk of the committee's responsibility obviously would be in the area of septage and discharge, nitrogen, and so forth. But it's also going to be dealing, obviously, I would hope you would want to deal with, especially with someone on the Board of Health, with
Well, the Board of Health is already